I would say that we grew up in a cult and in a society that runs itself very similar to North Korea.
Akiva Weingarten has left the cult, as he calls it. He no longer lives in an ultra-orthodox Jewish community. Weingarten has established a new Jewish life for himself in Germany. It's a decision that very strictly observant Jews like Jolisch Kraus reject on principle.
If you do not live for God, that is no kind of life. You live like an animal without any sense or purpose.
But more and more young Orthodox Jews no longer want to devote their lives to God. And surprisingly, many of them are drawn to Germany. It's Friday evening, the start of Shabbat, the Jewish day of rest and celebration. Akiva Weingarten is a rabbi. This evening he's leading prayers for a very special community. Many of the Jews here have quit ultra-Orthodox communities in the United States or Israel. In Germany, they're trying to lead their own lives, attempting to establish a more relaxed relationship to God, with the help of Rabbi Weingarten.
Even the people who don't want to remain observant are still interested in these traditions.
Rabbi Weingarten wants to give a new spiritual home, a new family to those who have left their ultra-Orthodox communities. He regularly invites people to cook and eat together for the Shabbat. Quitting the community often means a loss of contact with their own family. This is where Weingarten comes in. Everyone is welcome here.
Everyone is invited to come here. It's a mix of ex-Orthodox Israelis, Germans, liberal Jews, Orthodox Jews, conservative Jews, non-Jews. Everyone is invited. We're open to everyone. This is traditional gefilte fish. Oh, heck, we haven't got any garlic.
I forgot Knoblauch.
Akiva Weingarten knows the doubts that plague those who leave everything behind. 6 years ago, he left an Orthodox community. Alone in Germany, he felt completely lost. He hopes to spare others that experience.
In Berlin, I lacked what we have here. That's why I decided to open something myself.
He's become a point of contact for young people who want to break out of a strict ultra-Orthodox way of life, without, however, abandoning Jewish traditions. You might say that Rabbi Weingarten's credo for his community is live and let live, believe and let others believe.
I think it doesn't matter whether you believe in God or not, and you don't have to believe in God to lead a Jewish life, to celebrate Shabbat, observe religious holidays, to keep up our traditions, the food, the music.
Moshe Barnett, on the left here, has only just arrived in Germany. It took Moshe and his friend David years to break with their strict religious lives and with their families in Israel.
It's amazing. It's very liberal, very open, a lot of kinds of people. Make me Polish.
It's very different from what I was used to be taught.
Jerusalem. Not far from the city's famous old town is the world that Moshe Barnett has turned his back on. The ultra-Orthodox district of Mir Sharim. Many people here are descended from Holocaust survivors. They settled here after the Second World War. Originally, the members of strictly observant communities made up just a small percentage of the population of the newly founded Jewish state. Nowadays, they account for 30% of Jerusalem's inhabitants. Yolish Krauss is one of them. Unlike the ultra-orthodox families of Moshe Barnett and others, he is prepared to give us a glimpse of a life usually closed to outsiders. Krauss and his wife Esther, who doesn't want to appear before the camera, live in a tiny flat with their 18 children. Their daily life is dominated by prayers and religious study. This is the life that the newcomers that Rabbi Weingarten welcomes to Germany have fled from.
The meaning of life consists of serving God the whole day, every hour. The things that you do with a clear goal in mind are the best things. They are also the easiest things. If you do not live for God, that is no kind of life. You live like an animal without any sense or purpose.
Every single aspect of everyday life is regulated. Yolish is checking the black-eyed peas for insects. They will be eaten at Rosh Hashanah. He wants to avoid any impurity blemishing the start of the Jewish New Year. Life here is dominated by faith and superstition. A troubled young man from the neighbourhood knocks at the door. The community has advised him to seek help from Yolish Krauss. Krauss aims to remove the evil eye with a lead-pouring ritual. He melts lead in water in a pot held over the young man's head, which according to tradition will help in cases like this one.
It is impossible to say how many commandments that we have. In 24 hours you follow thousands of them. There are 613 commandments laid down in the Torah, but there are tens of thousands of others.
The ultra-Orthodox lifestyle led by Krauss has barely changed in centuries. Everything revolves around God. The modern world, the outside world, is mostly regarded as a threat. The children's education is largely religious. Science or history do not feature on the curriculum. Girls and boys are married off young and are expected to have large families. The internet is seen as a hotbed of sin. That's why smartphones are forbidden. Only old-style cell phones are allowed.
I believe we aren't extreme. It's because the world is deteriorating so quickly that they say we are extreme. We're not extreme at all. I would say we are upstanding people. All the others are leaning a bit to the left or have become degenerate. They look down at us. We're not extreme at all. We're the most upstanding people that exist.
Most ultra-Orthodox Jews in Mir Sharim live from welfare payments and donations. Yolish and his wife help out in the kitchen twice a week so they can feed their 18 children. Their daughters have to lend a hand from an early age, training for their role as housewife and mother when they grow up.
I need the key to the slaughterhouse. Wait, are you there? Are you on your bike? Ah, then come to the slaughterhouse. I hope somebody's going to be there and will open up. I need to pick up 8 chickens. Give him the key for now. He will give it back to you in half an hour.
Life is strictly regulated according to religious commandments and traditions that are thousands of years old. This gives a sense of stability to many people. But a growing number of young ultra-Orthodox Jews are unhappy with this regimented life and feel too constrained. Jorlish Kraus is sure that his children will not leave the fold. But what if they do?
If a child of mine wanted to go out and see the world, I would tell them, go and see, but I can tell you now there is nothing to see.
Back in Germany, in Dresden, where Akiva Weingarten is a rabbi. He grew up in an ultra-Orthodox community in New York State and then moved to Israel. There he lived like Jorlish Kraus. He was betrothed at the age of 19, and by the age of 22 he had 2 children. Then, in 2014, he decided to leave the path mapped out for him. He left his family and came to Germany, and almost broke under the strain of the separation.
In the first few months that I was in Berlin, I would not stand near a window on a higher floor because I was afraid I would jump. That's how hard it was.
It is hard to cope with the loneliness, the sudden loss of the family, which usually spurns those who leave. Rabbi Weingarten was lucky. He found a new partner, Rosa, and a job as the rabbi of Dresden's Jewish community. And his family did not completely break with him. He regularly Skypes with his family in New York State and lets them share his new life.
Did I show you our new chandelier?
No. Oh my goodness, that's gorgeous. Where did you get it? It's so Hungarian.
I was going to say, it's so Hungarian, it is.
How many students do you have already?
16.
You have already 16 students?
I mean, only 7 are here.
I read your newsletters very carefully.
His daughters from his first marriage, Miri and Malki, are also taking part in the Skype call. Usually he travels to Israel every 3 months to visit them, but that's been impossible since February due to the pandemic.
Miri, are you dressed up for the Shabbat?
Sure, I'm ready. I've got myself ready.
Who isn't ready, Malki?
No, Malki's ready too.
Weingarten's ex-wife still leads an ultra-Orthodox life. She has broken off contact with him and never takes part in the calls with the children.
I think that my children are too small to understand it. I do not know what they're being told by their teachers and by their mother. I do know that they will grow up and they will have the ability to choose afterwards, because another world has opened up for them. And once they're in the right age, we could have these conversations and then they could choose where they want to be.
Akiva Weingarten wants his children and his congregation to have a choice. That's why he and his girlfriend Rosa decided to create a program in Dresden and Berlin to help people who leave ultra-Orthodox communities.
Yeah, amazing.
Ah, wunderbar.
Super.
We got a kitchen, that's good.
Super, super. There's no program like this so far, but Akiva keeps being approached about this from young men and women that left Orthodoxy, and they see he already lives in this secular world, but he keeps his, in some way, a sort of religiousness, a sort of Jewishness within the secular world.
That's exactly what Moshe Barnett would like to achieve.
I have more pictures of tefillin, I believe. Yeah. This is my father, my mother, one of my twin sisters. I have twin sisters. This is my little sister and this is my nephew.
Moshe is the eldest of 10 children. The 23-year-old misses his family desperately. They don't even know he has abandoned the fold. He told his parents he was going to Germany to study the Holy Scriptures.
I think it's part of me, like it's not part I throwing out, it's part I need to know to take the good from it and keep going forward.
In his former life, going for a walk just for the sake of it was inconceivable. In Jerusalem, he usually stayed in the yeshiva studying the Torah until 10 p.m. at night.
When I grew up, probably until the age of 14, 15 maybe, it was very clear to me that all what you do and all your existence in the world, it's worship God. It's all about Him, meaning every aspect in your life, it's towards the willing of God, what He wants from you. In the last year in my yeshiva, so we had more open conversations between the guys on a lot of subjects you can call maybe taboo by the world. But then I understood it's finished. I need to live and to move over. I lost the connection at all.
That was 2 years ago. By deciding to secretly leave the yeshiva and go to a state school without telling his parents, he cut loose from the ultra-orthodox world. Then he heard about the project in Germany designed to support people like him. He got in touch with Rabbi Weingarten via Facebook, who arranged for him to come to Dresden this summer.
Hausaufgabe.
Now he's learning German, along with others in the program.
Zusammen oder getrennt, was stimmt so?
Können wir bitte bezahlen? Das ist
Bejachad.
Das ist zwei Menschen.
So, yeah?
Sauer.
They have a background, both of them, because they know Yiddish. It's very similar, but for me it's like a new world from the beginning. Entschuldigung, aber mein Kaffee ist fast kalt. Oh, das tut mir leid. Ich bringe Ihnen sofort einen.
Ich bringe Ihnen sofort einen neuen.
Rabbi Weingarten has organised the classes. He also helps Moshe and the others to find apartments and furnish them, funded by private donations. The Tafel in Dresden, an organisation for people in need, also does its bit.
So we're picking up the shrunk here and maybe also the washing machine. And
before he turned his back on ultra-orthodox life, Moshe was never on his own. His days were shaped by religion and the family. Rabbi Weingarten is now helping him to cope alone, step by step. For Moshe, being on his own has, however, raised many questions.
You're starting to question things like if God exists, if God doesn't exist, what it means for me, what religion means for me, and I don't feel like religion is part of me.
The rabbi hopes to help him deal with such existential problems in particular. He's encouraging Moshe and the others to redefine their relationship to religion and teaches them the Torah in Dresden's new synagogue.
The ultra-orthodox God is very present in your life on a daily basis. He cares which shoe you put on first and which shoe you tie first. He cares which hand you wipe your with in the bathroom. He's very busy with you masturbating. That's one of the worst things. At some point, he just vanished. So the closest person to me that was there from the moment I was born until the moment I believed he doesn't exist just vanished all of a sudden. So when I lost my beliefs in that specific God that I grew up on, I had to find a reason why to wake up in the morning, why to do anything, why to work, why to just go on with my life. I learned with time how to, you could say, invent my own God or find a God that I could live with. And that God has nothing to do with the ultra-orthodox God.
We don't believe that our God gave us this here. We believe it was written by people. Why is it sacred to us?
It's not holy, it's important.
And what's the difference between holy and important?
One is religious and the other is cultural.
I would say that we grew up in a cult and in a society that runs itself very similar to North Korea. It's very hard for people that grew up in this world to be integrated into the Western society anywhere in the world.
But it is possible, and Weingarten is convinced that others can do it too. But why do young Jews go to Germany, of all places, to the country responsible for the Holocaust and where anti-Semitism is on the rise again? The answer is complicated. Just how complicated became clear to him last September. Weingarten is on his way to Magdeburg, where the trial is being held of a man accused of attacking the synagogue in Halle in 2019.
Hi.
Good sharp.
Thank you.
Overload. Slow driving.
Weingarten has come to lend his support to one of the women who survived the attack. Christina Feist was there when an attacker unsuccessfully attempted to blast his way into the synagogue. 1 year on, she still has not been able to process her experience.
I'm incredibly tired and worn out and exhausted. I don't even have words for it anymore.
The rabbi wants to help her speak about it again in preparation for the trial.
This one I haven't tried. But the one
I think the most important thing you could do today is don't lose your cool.
Yeah.
I think that the job of a rabbi in general is to be there for people when they're invited. And many times just being there is enough.
The rabbi doesn't stray from the side of his old friend on the day of her difficult court appearance. In the trial, Christina Feist will have to relive those terrifying hours. Hours in which 2 people in the vicinity were fatally shot by the attacker. The state prosecutor's office has charged the suspect with 2 counts of murder and 68 counts of attempted murder. The whole trial is forcing Akiva to re-examine his relationship to Germany.
We have a very complicated relationship with Germany in general. Both my grandparents were in Auschwitz. And I think that the general German population are not Nazis. And they feel terrible about what happened. And it looks like they're trying to do whatever they can to make it right with us. I personally have never experienced anything negative. I do feel the looks from all directions when I'm walking in the street, but looking is of course legal, and I think that that is one of my goals, why I walk around with a kippah in the street, so that people see it and they get used to it, that we're part of the culture, we're part of the society. And of course, Germany has a very big problem. These anti-Semites are here, and they're dangerous, and they want to kill us. And this should be a wake-up call for Germany to get their house in order. This cannot continue.
Nevertheless, the rabbi firmly believes that Jewish life is possible in Germany, and that's why he's set up his project here. In Berlin, a long-time friend is an example of how a fresh start in Germany can succeed. Photographer Benjamin Reich has invited the rabbi to attend his exhibition. Reich was born into an ultra-religious Israeli family. He's been living in Berlin for 11 years now. Jewish identity and Jewish life in Germany are the major themes in his work. He's dedicated his latest works to the survivors of the Halle attack.
We live as we live, and there are enough people who are also tolerant and open. There will always be extremists, and my work also deals with the effects of anti-Semitism. But I would also like to show the light radiated by the people who live here in Berlin and feel good, to show the good aspects.
Back in Dresden, there are new arrivals from Israel. At first, Moshe Barnett just lets Avrumi and his girlfriend Manucci talk. He knows how important, in particular, these initial contacts are.
I left the community 4 years ago, and I'm like in a survival mode all the time, because we were coming from places that not really prepare us to the regular life.
I see the opportunity of this program to let me out from the stress in Israel and the life that I don't want to live.
I think like everyone needs to find his own pattern, his own way, what he wants to achieve from staying here. I think it's a good place for young people to come and try and do it.
You think we can build a life here?
It depends what you're looking for, but yes.
The fresh start begins for the couple with a new apartment. That was arranged by Rabbi Akiva Weingarten, who Avrumi and Manucci only know from video calls up to now.
The moustache is new.
For Germany.
Very good. You have a new name?
Yes.
Avi?
No, Alexander. That's okay for Germany, isn't it?
For a Russian.
Yes, but my name is Avraham Alexander.
Then the rabbi shows the newcomers around Dresden. He also takes them to an old synagogue that he would like to bring to life again with as many of the new arrivals as possible.
I'm not building a new community. I'm building a community as part of the community. We need younger people here to strengthen the community here. And I think that Dresden is a very good place for this. I think that it's not going to be a long time until we have a huge group of students here.